We're ready. We're going. All right. I have Randle Nickerson and Salma Siddick. Welcome to the show, you both.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you.
I know we have to share a microphone. All right. So if you are regular on my show, you listen to Salma back. I think was it a year ago, Salma?
I thought it was like October or something.
Yeah.
Was it, I think.
And it was wonderful. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah.
Face to face.
And so you were telling me earlier you've had quite a bit of response since you were actually on my show. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Wow. So since I was on your show, I have had an overwhelming number of people reach out to me via many social media channels, just saying that they appreciated the show, they appreciated me telling the story, they appreciated the movie coming out, and that it inspired them to share their story, many of whom did share their story with me, or share their stories with me.
Canada geese. Yeah.
And so it's been incredible, just to know that there are other people out there who have had similar experiences, some of whom continue to have experiences, and who are willing to talk about them and appreciate the fact that I'm sharing mine. So it was a lot of love, and I appreciate it. A little overwhelming, but
now,
nice.
Any regrets at all for that?
On coming on the show?
Yeah.
No, because I think everybody deserves an opportunity to say what they want to say, and I think I try to do a very good job of, hearing people out saying thank you, and, I don't need to friend everybody, but I think that sometimes, or a lot of times, all people want is just to be heard, and so I think if you have a similar experience and you're sharing your experience with someone else who's had something similar, all you want is it's that connection, and I think that's okay. I love it. I don't regret it at all. Not yet.
But have they your email address or nothing was posted there, so they just find you on Facebook? Is that what's going on?
It is not hard to find anybody these days.
True.
You literally have to be off the grid, like literally. Yeah. Even if there was no like actual physical contact, you just need someone's face. You can Google image the person, and you can find somebody. So no, people have reached out to me in various ways. It's where I work is common knowledge.
I was going to ask about work.
It's on there.
And were people aware at work, since you started working wherever you're working, what had happened, or did that actually come out slowly? Or
actually, before I came on your show, I let my supervisor know.
Oh,
because
that's great.
Just for PR purposes, of course, I wanted her to know going in that this was a possibility. Obviously, I'm not going to talk necessarily. It's not about where I work, but somebody could ask that, which I think is relevant. I think my choice to do the work that I do has a lot to do with my experience and where I'm from, and I think just who I am. But my experience as an 11-year-old at school in the playground that day has definitely shaped and informed a lot of what I do. So not everybody at work knows. I don't think they need to, but the people who do know what they need to know, and it's been very supportive, so I'm very grateful.
For the person that hasn't heard your story, that I know I'm going to get a lot of email if I don't ask you to just kind of in a nutshell explain what your experience was, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. I guess, summary of it, just because I've spoken about it so much. And it's not that I mind, it's that I honestly have to get into a mindset to do that, because I don't dwell on it every day. So it's almost like I have to get into a meditative state to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, which is probably why I spent most of the day in the hotel room today.
You got to get ready for tomorrow. You're going to be talking about
really am.
Yeah.
But basically, in a nutshell, we were having our recess. I was 11 years old in a rural town of Zimbabwe called Ruwa. The school used to be a farm, so it was a pretty rural school and very small at the time. It was very, still fairly new. So I think Randle told me that they weren't more than 200 students. I thought it was 3, but I think it was 280 or something.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So not a lot. So our classes were pretty small. But we were having recess, and I was with my usual friends, as you do. We're eating our lunch, and we saw something shiny a ways away in the bush. It was pretty much bush, because apart from the playground, it's a savanna region, so there was very tall grass, and a lot of trees, and a lot of like koppies, which I guess are like it's a very like a stony hill, so a lot of granite rock. So we saw something shiny over on these koppies, and then it was flashing. You could see it, and then you couldn't see it, or it could have actually been flashing. We couldn't. I still don't know today, but it was incredibly, incredibly bright, and very different from anything we had seen before. And then my friend, who I was standing next to, she and I saw like a being, I guess. And if there were multiple beings, I don't know, but they all looked exactly the same. And
did you actually walk toward the object?
We did not walk towards the object. We walked toward the barrier of the playground, which is sort of where the being was, but not cross the barrier. We didn't cross the barrier. So it was really a lot of, we were inquisitive. What is this? I don't know what this is. And it's sort of, any human being is going to try and rationalize what it is that they're seeing. And as an 11-year-old, we couldn't really put into words what it was we were seeing, and trying to justify it. And so, it was very in like a human-esque form, but much shorter, really big head, really big eyes. If it did have a nose, couldn't really see it, but also the skin pigmentation was very, very different. It was very odd. It was nothing like I'd ever seen before. And the closest thing that I could compare what it was wearing would be something like a scuba diving suit. It was just very form-fitting, very black, a little shiny at times, but I don't know if that was just the sun. It was a pretty warm day. It was a beautiful day. Every day is beautiful in Zimbabwe, actually. So it was just a very normal day, and then this happened. It was very, very immense, very intense, and clearly has changed my life. So, in a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah. Did you walk away when this was happening, or did you stay there until it walked away, or turned away, or went away?
Yeah, no, I actually broke my eye lock with it, because I wanted to go and check on my brother and sister, who were much younger and playing in a different part of the playground, because I felt that if I was afraid, then they must be terrified too. But there are a lot of other things that happened during this interlocking moment that I go into in my piece tomorrow. But once I let go of my friend's hand and I disconnected from that gaze, which was not an easy thing to do at all, I feel like it took every ounce of effort and energy from me, and I felt absolutely exhausted afterward. I didn't see it again.
Wow. Now, I had a lot of critics from the last interview I did with you, and
one
of the people made a really good point.
Sure.
You mentioned that there was no telepathic message to you, and someone wanted to know why you thought there was no telepathic when other people had it.
I think that's a great question. So this is something I've been pondering over, especially since your podcast, and in talking more about what happened and being a lot older now, trying to figure some pieces out. I think if I did get a message, I don't remember. So because I don't remember doesn't mean it didn't happen. But I think that the fact that I disconnected, this interlocking moment has a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. But honestly, during that moment, I don't know that, and I don't know how long that moment was for. I could not tell you. My sense of time was completely warped. Everything slowed down, and I couldn't hear a thing. This is a playground full of children. Of course, there were kids playing on this side, and there were some other kids who were very confused by what was going on, and some started to cry. So there was definitely noise, but I couldn't hear a thing.
Wow.
So
amazing.
I think me breaking the locked gaze has a lot to do with it, but I don't want to sit here and say that it was easy, because it wasn't. I have never felt so tired and drained in all my life.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
And you probably was totally confused by why that was.
Yes, I couldn't. This is a very interesting thing that actually I just came into. Like, I was talking about it yesterday, and I was like, my heartbeat in my, you can hear your heartbeat when it's beating
Yeah.
really fast. I definitely had palpitations in that moment, even though everything was slowed down, which
Wow.
was so trippy. I
Yeah.
don't even know how to describe, but I just remembered this yesterday. And so what I'm realizing is, as I'm talking more about the incident, which I never really did on this much of a scale before, and as in depth, and I'm a lot older, and I'm able to, I think, do a lot of inner assessment and outer assessment, that it really it helps me to be able to dig into things that I maybe wasn't ready to tap into before. So I definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate having this platform to really unwind and talk about some things that maybe I didn't want to think about before, because I don't know how to make sense of it.
Has anyone ever asked you to do regression?
Yes.
And what's your thoughts on that?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No. I'm
Are you afraid that there's something hidden that you might discover that you're afraid of?
Yes.
I understand.
I'm
that.
not ready to face that yet.
Sure.
But I will be.
That. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's no forever.
Mhm.
I would like to do a lot more research into what that entails, and I want to be able to trust the person that's doing it. It's not just going to be some random person. So I also am aware that, once you know something, you can't unknow it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's that I'm afraid of knowing. I think it's that I'm afraid that I won't know what to do with what I know.
Sure.
And I'm
Wow.
somebody who I'm a proactive person. I'm all about action, and I like to be, I like to progress. And so I want to be sure that I am mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually ready before I can tackle anything else that could come out of this regression, of which I'm convinced that there will be a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Randle, let's talk about I was telling you earlier, kind of teasing you, that every show that I do seems someone saying, when's the film coming out? When's the film coming out? So Ariel Phenomenon, you've been working on it for 10 years.
10 years.
And I will say to the audience that I know that you're extremely fussy in what you do, and it's going to be an amazing production. So can you just fill us in where everything stands?
Yeah. I just want to say everybody that knows me knows I'm a perfectionist.
Yes.
And, some people do get annoyed at that. It's, I know people have been waiting for this. I do understand that. But I feel like, I actually feel proud that it's taken this long, in a sense, because of it's been done right. And I feel like, it's just a lot of work. I'm a little exhausted. I've been working 8 o'clock in the morning till 11 at night for, I don't even know how long now, months. And but we're very close.
Yeah.
You'll definitely.
It's a passion of yours too, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just listening to her, Salma, be able to say what she just said, and getting the feedback that she's been getting, and having other people be able to share their stories, that means the world to me.
Sure.
That means
there's so much more to this than just a film.
Right.
Yes.
It's about having people be able to be heard. You said it perfectly. This year definitely is going to be the year, man. I can definitely positively say that.
We only have like 200 days left, or even less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
actually 130 days or something like that.
Yeah.
TikTok.
So exactly right. So
counting him down.
So I mean, at some point soon, I'm not going to even know when. The decision will not just be my decision as far as release date.
Well, we'll stay in touch. And,
for sure,
and
I will
I'll definitely
definitely
help you when that's ready to come
But I'm
out.
so excited for people to see it, because it's a powerful story. It's a work of art. It's I've had just great people working on it, and so much help from so many people, through GoFundMe, or not GoFundMe, but different pages and donations. I mean, we've had it's just hundreds of people have been involved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you
Yeah.
too so much.
Thanks for
It was
having us.
wonderful.
Thanks for having us. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.